Children, today we are going to study in the topic probability multiplication theorem on probability, right? In the previous class, we have studied about the conditional probability that event A is happening after which the event B has already occurred. Okay, so it was probability of A upon B is equals to probability of A intersection B upon probability of B, where probability of B is not equals to 0. So from here, if we cross multiply, we get the value of P A intersection B, that will be probability of B into probability of A upon B. Similarly, so this is considered as first equation, right? So if we find out or calculate probability of B upon A, then it will be probability of A intersection B upon probability of A. Here A, probability of A is not equals to 0, right? From the first and if we cross multiply here this probability of A, then we get the probability of A intersection B is probability of A into probability of B upon A. So this is considered as second equation. Now when we equate this first and second equation, we'll get the value of probability of A intersection B or probability of AB. When no sign is there, that means intersection is there, right? So this will be equals to probability of A into probability of B upon A or probability of B into probability of A upon B. Now this result is known as the multiplication rule of probability or multiplication theorem. Alright children, please note down. Children, now we are going to discuss about independent events. So let's try to understand this example in which there is a box. In this box there are 4 red balls and 3 say blue balls or black balls. Okay, 4 red and 3 blue balls, and we have to take out 2 red balls from the bag. Okay, now for the first draw, one by one we are taking out the red ball. We have to take out 2 red balls. Remember this, we have to take out 2 red balls. Okay, now there are 2 ways of drawing 2 red balls. Either we take both the balls out from the bag, or we take one ball out and hold without replacing, we do not put that ball back and then take another ball, or we take one ball out, notice the result, put the ball back and then take another ball out. Okay, these are the 2 ways, number of ways in which we can take the 2 balls out from the bag. Now we have to take 2 red balls. Suppose we are doing it successively, that means one after the other. Then for the first draw, the probability of getting a red ball is 4 by 7, right? Now for the second draw, we say that if we replace that ball we have taken out, suppose red ball we have taken out and then we have replaced that ball again in the bag, then the probability of getting a red ball will be 4 by 7 again, because again in a bag you have 4 red balls and total number of balls is 7. So probability of getting a red ball over the ball that you have drawn in the first case. Okay, so that is 4 by 7. Without replacement, if you do, we'll get the number of red ball is 3 and total number of balls in the bag is 6, not 7. So it will be 1 by 2. So we say that probability of getting a, now in this case, in the first case, the event of getting getting a red ball in the second draw is not depend on the red ball in the first case that we have taken out. Now in this case, the event B event does not depend on event A. Whatever the event A is, we don't know. Okay, that does not affect the event B. Okay, but in the second case, the event A is affecting the event B, because now the total number of ball has become 7 and the number of ball has become 3. So this way we can say that in the second case, A and B will not be independent event, but in the first case, A and B will be independent event. So this is a condition that we have written here for the independent event, that if P probability of B upon A is equals to probability of B, or probability of A upon B is equals to probability of A, where PA not equals to 0 and PB not equals to 0, then we say that A and B are independent events. Okay, note down please. Okay, now let's see here. In the conditional probability, we have studied that probability of A upon B is probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. And in the independent event theorem, we have studied that probability of A upon B is equals to probability of A, because B happening of B does not affect the happening of A. Okay, so probability of A over B will be probability of A. Now if we put the value of probability of A upon B as probability of A in the equation 1, then we'll get probability of A is equals to probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. When we cross multiply, we get the value of probability of A intersection B as probability of A into probability of B. So when we get this condition, then we can say that A and B are independent event. Okay, so if A and B are independent event, then probability of A intersection B will be equal to probability of A into probability of B. Okay, if it is not happening, suppose probability of A and into probability of B is not equals to probability of A intersection B, then we say that A and B are not independent event, or they are dependent events. Alright, please note down. Let's see few sum, children. Now here it is given that a dice is thrown. If E is an event, the number appearing is a multiple of 3, and F is an event, the number appearing is even number. Then find whether E and F are independent or they are not independent, right? So first is E is the event which the number is appearing is a multiple of 3. Now how many numbers which are multiple of 3 appears can appear when we throw a dice? There are only two numbers, either 3 is a multiple of 3 or 6 is a multiple of 3, right? So number of favorable outcomes is 2 and total number of outcomes is 6. So probability of happening event E is 2 by 6, right? Next is event F is number appearing is an even number. Now if we throw a dice, then how many even numbers can come? So now 2, 4 or 6 can come. These are even numbers in a single throw of dice. So we can say that number of favorable event is 3, total number of event 6, right? And what is the intersection of E and F? A number that is a multiple of 3 and an even number. So there is only one number which is multiple of 3 as well as the even number which is 6. So the probability of E intersection F is 1 by 6. So if we multiply probability of E into probability of X, that will be 2 by 6 into 3 by 6. That will become 6 upon 36. When we cancel, we'll get 1 by 6. So we can see here probability of E intersection F is equals to probability of E into probability of F, and that is 1 by 6. It's coming, right? So now we can say that event E and F are independent events. Alright, please note down. Let's see another sum, children. Now here it is given that an urn contains 10 black and 5 white balls. 2 balls are drawn from an urn, one after another without replacement. What is the probability that both the balls drawn are black? Let's see, this is a bag in which we have 10 black and 5 white balls. That means total balls 15, right? Then in the first draw, we have to get black ball because both the balls drawn should be black. Okay. So the first, how many black balls? We have 10. So any ball can come. How many chances we have in coming black balls is 10. Outcomes, total number of outcomes, total number of balls 15. So the probability of getting a black ball will be 10 by 15 or 2 by 3. 5 to the 10, 5 3 the 15, right? Next is probability of getting a black ball when A, that first event has already occurred and we have obtained one black ball and one black ball is not replaced in the bag again. So we say that probability of getting B upon A, that means A has already happened and B is now B is going to happen. So now the number of black balls in the bag, it will be 9 and total number of balls had become 14 because one has been taken out and not kept back, replaced it. Okay, without replacement it is written. So they have not kept the ball back in the urn, right? So total number of black balls will be 9 and total number of balls will be 14. So here this is the probability of getting a second black ball in a second draw, right? So we have to calculate both the balls will be drawn will be black. So that means we have to calculate the probability of A intersection B. So this is equals to probability of A into probability of B upon A, which means 2 by 3 into 9 by 14. When we cancel out, we'll get 3 by 7. Alright. Please note down. Let's see another sum, children. Now here it is given that 3 balls are drawn one by one without replacement from an urn containing 3 white, 3 red and 3 black balls. What is the probability that at least one ball is red? Now we have a bag, we have a urn in which we have 3 white, 3 red and 3 black balls, right? So we have to find the probability of at least one ball. So what we'll get, what we have to calculate, in the 3 balls that we have drawn, no ball is red. And we find the complement of that, then we'll get the answer, at least one red ball. So for finding no red ball from the 3 balls drawn, so how many non-red balls we have in the bag? We have 3 white and 3 black balls. Then among these 6 balls, we have to draw 3 balls. So how many way we can select? We can draw 3 balls from the given 6 balls. It will be 6C3. Excuse me. And total number of balls we have 9. So it will be 9 C3 will be total number of ways of drawing 3 balls, right? So when we solve this, we'll get the answer 5 by 21. So for getting at least one ball red, it will be the complement of no red ball. That means 1 minus 5 upon 21 will get 16 upon 21. And that will be the answer for this sum. Please note down the solution. Okay children, let's see this sum. In this sum, it is given that the probability of hitting a target at the first, second and third shot are 3 by 5, 2 by 5 and 3 by 4. Calculate the probability that the target gets hit. That means either it get one time hit, or both the times on the first or second shot it get hit, or on the all the 3 shots the target got hit, right? So let's calculate this sum by not hitting the target at any of the time. So the probability of hitting the target on the first shot is 3 by 5. Therefore, the probability of hitting the target, not hitting the target on the first shot is 1 minus 3 by 5. It will be 2 by 5. So probability of hitting the target on the second shot, it's 2 by 5 it is given. So probability of not hitting the target on the second shot, it will be 1 minus 2 by 5. It will be 3 by 5. And probability of hitting a target at the third shot, it is 3 by 4 given. So probability of not hitting the target at the third shot, it will be 1 minus 3 by 4. It will be 1 by 4. So what we'll calculate? We'll calculate that none of the shots the target got hit. None of the shots on the first shot it missed, second shot missed, third shot missed. So target not got hit by any of the shots. So that will be probability of A complement into probability of B complement into probability of C complement. That will be 2 by 5 into 3 by 5 into 1 by 4. So when this 2 and 2 to the 4 will get cancelled, we'll get the answer 3 by 50. So we have to hit the target at least one time or two times or all the 3 times, right? So we say that the probability of hitting the target, it will be 1 minus probability of not hitting the target. That will be 1 minus 3 upon 50. It will be 47 upon 50. Alright children, please note down.